How's it, friends? It's time for a retail rumble. What does that mean? It means we are going to be testing out a product, a specific product, between the retailers of South Africa. Which one tastes the best? Which one has the nicest mouthfeel? Which one has the best texture? We will be testing that out, rating and reviewing the different versions. So what is on today's battleground? On today's battleground, we've got creamed spinach and butternut. We've got Woolworths, Pick n Pay, and Checkers. My name is Larissa, and I study consumer science in food retail management. Essentially, I have been working as a product developer ever since, so I am passionate about this. I am actually passionate about two things. The first is comparing products between retailers to see which one's the best, which one would I prefer buying here instead of there. But I'm also passionate about new things. If I see the sticker new, if I see something that I haven't seen on the shelves before, oh, I am so wanting to try that. And so for future videos, you'll most likely see me trying new things on our shelves in South Africa. But I did not study product development just to taste the retailers' ones. We have the mystery plate today as well. And that means I'm going to be putting my skills at test, and I'll be making a home style version of the creamed spinach and butternut. And we will be comparing it. We will be eating it alongside of these ones when we test out these ones to compare. So if you are watching this video as a convenience shopper, this is what you want to know. You want to know which one to buy. Should you go to Woolworths? Should you go to Pick n Pay? Or should you go to Checkers to buy your cream style spinach and butternut when you make your chicken schnitzel? Or you are here for something more and you want to know how to do it yourself. You don't want to always be going to the shops to buy these things. You want to make it yourself. And that you'll also see in this video. So stick with me. Alright, so we can start with the butternut. As you can see, I'm peeling the butternut. It is the best way to go about it. You have to have a good peeler though. In this case, I'm using Victorinox peeler. It is just the bomb. And thereafter, I'm just cutting off the trims. And you want to be cutting this butternut into cubes of more or less the same size. Once you have your butternut all cubed up, you can start adding the spices. For that, we have 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Then we have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then 1 tablespoon of honey. And the honey is actually, we just got our inspiration from Woolworths because they had a honeyed butternut. You don't need to add it. As with all the other ingredients, you can alter it. If you don't want it as sweet, you can lessen the sugar or the honey, and less cinnamon if you don't really like cinnamon. Lastly, we have a squeeze of lemon juice that's going on. And then you want to put all your butternut on a baking sheet, preferably lined with parchment paper, just because it makes cleanup so much easier. And then you have the preheated oven on 180 degrees, and you pop your butternut in there to roast for 40 to 45 minutes, depending on the size of your butternut. And while the butternut is roasting, you can start with your spinach, give it a good wash. And it's actually very convenient having your spinach be wet. You don't need to dry it completely because these water particles, when you put it into the pan, they help with the steaming. So you can just put your spinach into the pan. It will look like it is lots of spinach, but the spinach will cook down quite a lot. Actually, you'd be surprised. And while your spinach is cooking down, you can just start chopping the garlic. This is by far the easiest way to take the skin off of garlics. So you just take a chef's knife and you smash the garlic, and there comes the skin. And then you can chop up your garlic. I realized whilst chopping my garlic that my cutting board was just moving too much. And technically in university, they did always tell us to put a cloth below your cutting board, and you can already see how steady it is. Once your spinach has cooked down, you can drain that water. There's nothing as bad as watery creamed spinach. Set the spinach aside, and in that same pan that you were using for the spinach, you can weigh out 76 grams of butter or a third cup of butter and let the butter melt in the pan. Now we are going to add in our 3 cloves of garlic that has been chopped. I can say if you're not such a fan of garlic, add in less garlic. 1 to 2 cloves would be enough. But if you're a fan of garlic like myself and Andrew, add that garlic. Next up, you're going to add the flour. This is a third cup of flour that you're going to mix into the melted butter. This is a key stage in making this bechamel sauce because you don't want to have undercooked flour. You can taste it. So you want to make sure you cook that flour at least for 2 minutes, and then you'll add in your milk. And this milk was 1.5 cups of milk. However, as I continue to make this creamed spinach, I do add in more milk. So by the end of it, I have at least added 2.5 cups of milk. And what I should have done, which I'll recommend to you, is that to prevent any lumps, you actually want to add the milk to the roux, which is the mix of the flour and the butter, off of the heat, which was not the case here. And that's just to prevent the lumps. Now add in a third cup of cream. You'll see Checkers, Pick n Pay, and Woolworths all add cream into their creamed spinach. It just makes it that much more creamier. Cream. Now mix it all thoroughly and add in 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. I'm now going to add more of my milk, still trying to get that consistency right. And just mix it, and now you'll add in your drained creamed spinach. I'm going to swap out my whisk for a wooden spoon just because it makes mixing that much easier. You don't have spinach particles going into the whisk. And there you can see it's coming together. Last bit of milk I'm adding just to get that consistency just right. Butternuts out, spinach done. Let's taste. All right, we are ready. I have brought Andrew. This is Andrew.
Hello.
He's going to come join with the tastings. So far he doesn't know which one is which. I know which one is which. But so far these are the 4 various ones. One of them is mine, one of them is Woolworths, one of them is Checkers, and one of them is Pick n Pay. In between tastings, we are going to take a sip of water just to cleanse the palate before moving on to the next, but you'll get our raw reactions as we taste and move along. All right, let's start with this one. This is the one. We can move these plates slightly. All right, let's start with the spinach.
Wow, this looks delicious.
You can taste.
That is so nice.
You can taste the garlic. Do you think it needs more salt?
And I do like the garlic quite a lot. Although I love garlic. But that is, yeah, that's very nice. Very creamy.
Okay.
Delicious.
Alright, butternut. The color looks the darkest and the most orange of this one than the rest. We've got different variations of, this is the most mashed up butternut that you get, this one and this one. This one's probably most like this one. And this one doesn't have a lot of browning, but it is cut in cubes. But yeah, this one has a lot of browning. You can see the cinnamon specks. You can see there is a, it's been roasted, there is a darker mark. Flavor is quite intense or quite prominent, and it's got an overall sweet flavor. All right, let's move on. You can put your fork here.
Thank you.
Next one.
Thank you, dear. What now?
We have flies flying around here. They're quite distracting.
100% the first one.
Why?
Very
You
stringy.
should speak louder.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's well, no garlic taste. More stringy, less creamy. Overall less flavorful, I would
Or taste more watery, not as creamy, and a lot more bland. All right. Butternut.
Very watery taste. I like usually mashed butternut, but this one's not so good.
So overall, yeah, a lot more watery in flavor. But you get that cinnamon, not as sweet as the first one. Yeah. All right. Next one. This one we can already tell from the appearance. The spinach is
good.
dark, doesn't look as creamy as these two specifically, but as all of them in general. This one looks like the ratio of spinach. Actually, I like this one spinach look the most. It looks the nicest in terms of spinach, but yeah, let's see. The consistency of the spinach or the cream, the bechamel sauce is good. It's not stringy.
Love the texture. Very creamy. But not a strong garlic tea taste. Could probably add some salt. That's just me. Still prefer the first one.
I actually prefer this texture the most out of all of them. This texture is it's very soft spinach, not mushy, but like a soft, smooth spinach with yeah, overall very, very nice and creamy. That's what I would expect when I think of creamed spinach. Yeah, all right, butternut. Butternut looks it looks like it's been cooked in water, and therefore you would think that some of the flavor has been leached out.
Oh, nice.
But it is very flavorful, actually. Very flavorful. Quite sweet. As sweet as the first one, I'd say.
Less cinnamon.
Less cinnamon
taste.
flavor, yeah. Less of a cinnamon flavor. But overall, actually both components on this is very good. All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
This is now the last option before we choose which one's the best. Overall appearance, it does look a lot more creamy, or not creamy, milky. Like the ratio of spinach to the actual bechamel sauce looks a little bit off. I prefer this one because this one's bechamel sauce, it just looks like it's one product. Here it looks like it's two separate products. It separates quite, and the pieces are more or bigger in this one.
Spinach tastes a bit uncooked for me, and it's very, like you said, milky. From the look, it also tastes very milky.
Overall flavor though, it does, I think this one's giving me the saltiest flavor out of all of them. And it does taste like there's a lot more preservatives or flavorings or additional things that have been added onto this one. These taste very simple. But flavor is actually quite nice. I actually Don't think the flavor is bad. Okay. Just the consistency, texture, I think it's completely off there. Completely hard piece.
Not so flavorful.
You get the water. Okay. The cinnamon you can get, the sweetness, it is actually quite nice. Comparing it to this one again. It just feels like a lot more water leaches out of this one than this one. Alright. Ooh! Revealing, revealing! Overall, let's see. Spinach. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, must I say?
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely 1, definitely 2, definitely 3, definitely 4.
Okay, and butternut.
It was between these two.
Do you want to taste them again?
Yeah, let me taste them again.
I think this one's definitely sweeter.
It is. I still prefer this butternut. I hope this is yours.
I prefer this one's flavor, but this one's appearance. I do like this appearance. It looks like that roasted butternut appearance.
So butternut, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Spinach, myself, I actually think this one spinach is the nicest. Then this one. Then this one, and then this one. Butternut. Between these two, yeah. Probably this one, then myself is this one, and then this one. So I differ from Angie here. Overall, this one is Woolworths. This one is Pick and Pay. This one is Checkers, and this is myself.
Oh, so I guessed right.
But yeah, so if you're going to buy it convenience-wise, this one is the top contender from the store-bought ones. From these three, this one definitely takes the cake. And also in terms of, just in terms of flavor, it wins the show. However, it is a pricier one. Overall, this one I was actually the most disappointed with. And this one, if you want more of a natural flavor, I mean, that is what the Simple Truth brand is about. They're about no preservatives, no added flavorants, nothing like that. And that is this one. Whereas this one you can taste there's a couple flavorants added, or like cheese powder, and that's what the ingredients also did say. So I likened my ingredients for this one mostly off of these two. I didn't add the cheese powders and all of those ingredients, but yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Finish this.